Today's video isn't so much a yoga practice. It's more me sharing some exercises that have helped improve my back, improve my stability, strengthen my glutes, and have just helped me move in a much easier way than I have been doing over the past few months. So this is just a guideline of things that have helped me and may help you. When we strengthen around our core, which are muscles not only in the abdominals, but they wrap all the way around the body, around the spine, into the glutes as well. And when we work on these muscles, we are able to improve our posture, improve our balance. It gives the body stability, so you are able to go through everyday tasks without worrying if you're going to hurt your back or if something is going to go, which is very much an issue when you get a little bit older. So as I said, these are just exercises that have worked for me. If you do have any medical concerns, then please do speak to your medical practitioner before you undertake a change in your exercise regime. So I think I've got, she says, looking over at her notes, I think I have about 4 or 5 different exercises that I just want to go through and share with you today. We are going to start lying down on the back to begin with. So roll out your mat. If you haven't got a mat, you can just lie down on the floor, on a rug. Just make sure you are comfortable. And if you bend your knees and bring your feet in towards your bottom, all we're going to do to start with is find the neutral position to our spine. It's going to be different for everyone. Everyone's skeleton is slotted together differently. So what works for me may be completely different to you. So to begin with, if we just tilt our pelvis up towards the ceiling, so you're just lifting the very, very lowest bone of your back off the floor, and then we flatten the back to the floor, and then arch the back so that you're able to get your hands underneath. And then if we just move between these two extremes, between finding the arch in the back to really flattening the spine to the floor, and somewhere in between those 2 points, you have your neutral, a position that feels comfortable for you to maintain within your body. If you gently draw your belly button in towards the spine, not too much, but just a little bit, so you feel the muscles around your center beginning to switch on, beginning to activate, then we can use this as our start position. So with our feet roughly hip distance apart, all we are going to do is peel the spine off the mat, so you're tilting your pelvis and lifting, pushing through your feet. And when you get your hips off the floor, we're just going to squeeze those glutes, keeping your knees in the same position, so we're not allowing them to fall out to the side or knock in together. And then as we breathe out, just slowly lowering all the way back down to the floor, re-establishing that neutral position in your spine. We're just going to do that a few times. So this is a bridge pose. So we inhale, we have our neutral, we lift the hips, we squeeze the glutes, making sure that those knees stay over the ankles, trying to find some relaxation through the breath and across the chest here, and then slowly lowering all the way down to the floor. And we can repeat this as many times as you like. At least 6 to 10 would be good, just to see how it feels. Lifting up, lowering down, squeezing through the glutes. The glutes are a huge muscle and they really support the back. So if we have strong glutes, there is a good chance that our back will benefit from this. So we lift it up and we take it down. We're trying to keep our spine long in this, so we're not introducing a curve at the top of the lift. We're just lifting up, little squeeze through the glutes, and then we take it down again. From here, we're going to lift our legs into this tabletop position. It's really hard when you actually can't see what you're doing, but your knees are roughly over your hips and you have this right angle going on between the back of your thighs and the back of your calves. Just lifting your legs off the floor, you want to try and maintain that neutral spine, but you can really feel the muscles around your center working. You might even feel yourself shaking a little bit. And if this is too much, if this feels way too much for you, drop one foot to the floor, alternate the legs. We can start here and then we can swap over, or we can even drop both feet to the floor and just lift up and lift up. Find the place that works for you. Now, if you have your legs lifted, or even if you just have one lifted, we can increase this exercise by extending the arms up to the ceiling as well. Stay here if you want to. Maybe stay here for 3 to 5 breaths before lowering back down. Adding on to this exercise, this one is really like tapping your head and rubbing your belly. So it's good for focus as well as strengthening your body. I feel it's strengthening your mind as well. I'm going to lower my right foot to the floor and at the same time take my left arm behind me. And the trick is to try and keep that left knee where it is. Oftentimes it wants to move in. So we're just trying to try and keep this stability in the body. So we move one leg and we move the opposite arm, taking it down, drawing it back up. It requires a huge amount of concentration. We're trying to keep our spine in neutral. We're breathing. I'm moving my arms as well. I look like one of those tin soldiers. So we do this a few times on each side, and then we hug those knees in, rolling your spine on your mat. Honestly, sometimes these things appear easy, but they are a lot more challenging than you think. So you can come back and give that another little go if you want to. And remember, there are always the options. So we never ever want to feel pain in the back. It's all around the core muscle. So as soon, or if you ever feel pain in the back, just drop those feet to the floor and just come into a slightly easier option where you can just maybe work on moving the arms and then work on moving the legs and just slowly build up to it. Take it at your pace. So we've done our bridge. We've done this position, which is called dead bug. We're now going to flip ourselves all the way over. So roll onto your side if you want to, or you can just draw yourself all the way up and over onto all fours. So we're pretty much in the same position as we were lying on our backs. We've just flipped ourselves 180 degrees. We're going to do a very, very similar exercise. Begin by finding your neutral. So we come into our cow, and then we round our back into cat until we found our neutral, the midpoint in our spine. Exactly the same thing that we were doing on our back. We're going to extend one leg out behind us. Try and keep the hips level so you're drawing your belly in. And with your right leg extended, taking your left arm in front of you, holding it here. Deep breath in, long breath out. Return the hand, return the knee. If you feel that your spine has come out of your neutral, you can always take yourself through a round or two of cat-cow to re-establish that. And then we extend that left leg behind you. Try not to swing up with the hip. Try and keep it level if we can. We're drawing the belly button in and extending our right arm in front of us. If we keep the gaze down to the floor, it helps find length through the back of the body. Taking the hand, the knee to the earth. Let's take the bottom towards the heels. Just reach the arms out in front of you, giving yourself a little bit of a stretch. all the way down the back of your body. Again, I would repeat that exercise maybe 3 to 5 times on each side. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, when you have your leg and your arm extended out, we can round through the spine, squeeze in the abdominals, seeing if we can get the elbow and the knee to connect. And as we inhale, we find length. We exhale, we squeeze it in. Inhale, lengthen, return towards the floor, and obviously swap over onto the other side as well. Very controlled movement, and that's what these core exercises are about. We're not rushing through them. We're taking our time, noticing how the body feels, noticing and being aware of all these small muscles wrapping around the body and almost visualizing them strengthening, getting stronger, being there to support you. That's what's so great about these little core exercises. They may be small, but they are very powerful. The next exercise that I want to share with you is plank pose. Two options for plank pose. You can either find your plank on your hands, or you can find your plank on your forearms. So if we start with it on your hands, if we have the wrists underneath the shoulders, again, we're finding our neutral spine. So we're not dipping, we're not rounding, we're finding the place in the middle. We can take one leg out behind us, just drawing that belly button in a little bit, always protecting the back when we do that. Taking our feet out behind us as we find this long line. Now squeeze your glutes as well. The aim for this posture isn't necessarily to be holding it for minutes on end. You want to squeeze your muscles as hard as you can whilst maintaining a regular breath pattern. As I'm sure you can hear, mine isn't overly regular. You can feel your body begin to shake. Stay here maybe for 20 seconds. Lower your knees to the floor. Take it back into a child's pose or any position that you feel that you can stretch out. Maybe give the wrists a little bit of a rotation. Roll the shoulder blades back and down, and then go again. Maybe aim for 2 to 3 times. See how that feels for you. If you are having problems with your wrists, if weight bearing on your wrists is not for you, we can try it on our forearms. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Exactly the same thing. Feet come out behind. Draw that belly in. Squeeze your glutes and your thighs. Breathe. There is a tendency, I find personally, in this one to allow yourself to sink down. I think it's a lot harder on the forearms than it is on the hands. But again, that might just be a personal preference, so give that a go as well if you would like to. And as I said before, these exercises, they may be small, but they are very, very effective, as you can probably tell from me huffing and puffing. Okie dokie, right, we're going to come into a classic yoga pose now, boat pose. Again, there are options. We can make this as challenging or as I don't like to use the word easy or challenging, but anyway, we can modify it to suit how we're feeling on any particular day. So if you come and sit on your mat, you can feel your sharp sit bones rooting down to the earth. We find length through the spine. Then from this position, keeping that straight back, drop yourself backwards so that you're on the fleshy part of your bottom, bringing your feet in line with your knees, in line with your hips. This is already challenging around your center. So if you want to stay here, then we can stay here. We can rest the hands behind the thighs. If you use your hands to grip the thighs, obviously that takes the away from your core a little bit because you're using your hands rather than your core to keep you in place. But if you feel you need a little break, you can do this. You can reach your arms out in front of you. Try and keep fluid through the upper body. Take a breath in. Take a long breath out. If you would like to extend into your boat pose, we can lift one foot off the floor, drop it down, other foot, drop it down. Maybe try this 3 to 5 times on each side, and then bring yourself back up. Just in case the lower back is beginning to feel it, walk your hands in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest. Just give yourself a stretch out before returning to your boat pose. Roll the shoulders, find openness through the chest. See how we feel this time. Maybe you're able to take both feet off the floor. As soon as you find yourself collapsing, head collapsing into shoulders, back rounding, your alignment going, come out of it, have a little stretch, and then maybe come into a slightly gentler option. Even though I am showing you core exercises, I have the ethos of yoga behind it. So listen to your body, be guided by your breath, be kind to yourself. So don't push yourself into a position that really ain't going to work for you today. When you have done a few sets of boat pose, you're probably starting to feel it quite a lot through your center, maybe around your back and into your glutes. We're going to bring ourselves down towards the floor. Now, if you want to, you can maintain this boat pose and very slowly, on a single breath, take it down to the floor. Let's hug those knees in towards us. Maybe give our spine a small massage on the mat here. Before returning the feet to the earth, opening out the arms. I think I've run out of space here, but opening out the arms. And all we're going to do now, just to finish this off, is to drop the knees over to the right-hand side. So tipping over onto that right hip, maybe turning the gaze to the left, stretching out, so giving a twist through the center of the body, so stretching out all of these muscles that we've just been working. Stay here for a good 5 to 10 breaths. Take it back to center and just shift yourself over towards the opposite side. So dropping those knees over, feeling that stretch down the right hand side of the body, turning the gaze to the opposite way to the legs here. Breathing in deeply. Slowly and with control, we bring those legs back up to center. And then if you want to, you can come and return to a seated position on your mat. So those are just some small exercises that I personally have found have helped me, and I hope they help you too. Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon.